everyone. Today I'm going to do the Act 4 of the Tempest. Act 4, which has only one scene, and it is known as the mask scene. Children, now by the time Act 4 comes, the play is about to end. There is only one more act which is left, which is the concluding act, and it reaches its climax. The play reaches its climax. Now, in this Act 4, it is a kind of interlude. Interlude means interval, an intervening period where which is required for Prospero to prepare the climax in a way. As I told you, the scene is known as mask scene because here in this scene we'll find Prospero presenting a mask to Ferdinand and Miranda, especially in honor of their marriage, to celebrate their marriage, to celebrate their love. So, before going ahead with the explanation of the text, I feel that you must know what a mask is, right? Because you may get a question also on it, and it is very important for you to know about a mask. A mask is a form of courtly entertainment during Elizabethan times containing music, dancing, singing, and acting out a story. So please understand that it was a popular entertainment for Elizabethans, right? And it was a complimentary offering to the prince among his guests. So usually it was seen that this entertainment show means the mask was performed in the court to entertain the prince and especially when he is among his guests. Use of allegorical and mythical subjects. This performance means the mask was always based on a theme, and those themes were aspect or any allegorical subject. The characters are usually gods and goddesses of classical mythology or personified qualities like grace, love, harmony. Now, another important thing, these masks were staged to celebrate birth, marriages, and other significant events. Basically, these masks were meant for celebration. Any important event where there is a birth of any child, or marriage is taking place, or any other significant event, crowning of a king, or something like that, any sort of victory that has to be celebrated. So, for that, these masks were performed. Now let's continue with the explanation of the text. So children, in Act 3, Scene 1, we came to know that Prospero had assigned Ferdinand a task, which was a kind of punishment that he gave him just to test his love, whether his love for Miranda was true or not. Now, in Act 4, Scene 1, we see that Prospero has released Ferdinand because now he believes in his love. All right. And that's why he tells him. So, this scene takes place before Prospero's cell. Please note that the scene takes place before Prospero's cell, of course, on the island. But if the question comes, you'll have to write before Prospero's cell. Enter Prospero, Ferdinand, and Miranda. So, Prospero, Ferdinand, and Miranda, these are the three characters who begin with the scene. Prospero, in a way, is asking for a kind of forgiveness from Ferdinand for being too strict with him and for punishing him with such difficult task. Prospero says, if I have too austerely punished you, austerely here means harshly. If I have punished you too harshly, your compensation makes amends. Your compensation means reward. The reward that you are going to get, it will make up for it. Makes amends means it will make up for it. If I have punished you very harshly, strictly, then the reward that you are going to get would make up for it. For because I have given you here a third of mine own life. Third here refers to the third part, the third integral part of mine own life. Now, why does it call Miranda? Actually, he is referring here to Miranda. So, why does he call Miranda to be the third of her life? Because, his own life as Prospero, then his dukedom, and then Miranda. His dukedom Milan was also an integral part of his life. So that's why he calls Miranda as a third of his own life, or that for which I live, or that for which means whom here, because he is referring to Miranda, or I have given you the person for whom I live, who once again I tender to thy hand, who once again I tender to your hand. Tender here means offer to your hand. I once again offer her to your hand. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test here. Afore heaven, I ratify this my rich gift. Now he further explains, saying that all thy vexations, vexations means troubles or hardships that you had, all thy vexations were but my trials of your love, of thy love. They were just my trials of your love. I wanted to test your love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. And you have strangely here you can say remarkably, you have remarkably stood the test, means you have passed the test, you have qualified it remarkably. And therefore, afore heaven, afore here means before heaven, before heaven, I ratify this my rich gift. Ratify means endorse this rich gift of mine. And what is that rich gift? That is Miranda. Then he further admires Miranda and tells Ferdinand, do not smile at me. Do not smile at me means do not mock at me or do not laugh at me that I boast her of, that I boast her of, that I am speaking so high about her, that I sing praises of her. All right. Do not mock at me that I sing praises of her, or that I speak, a lot about her. I admire her a lot. For because thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise, because you yourself will find she will outstrip means exceed all praise, whatever admiration I am giving her, she will exceed all of that and make it halt behind her and make it stop behind her. So the way I admire Miranda, she deserves that admiration, because if you see, she would exceed all the praise and make it halt behind her. Now, for that, Ferdinand says, I do believe it against an oracle. Oracle is voice of God. Prospero says, then, as my gift and thine own acquisition, then please accept as my gift and your own acquisition, because you have acquired it, worthily purchased. Worthily purchased here means worthily won. Your acquisition, which you have won worthily, take my daughter. And he, in a way, give his daughter, or you can say that he agrees to their marriage. Sit then and talk with her. She is thine own. Now you may sit with her and talk to her. She is your own. And then he calls Ariel. What, Ariel? My industrious servant, Ariel. So he calls Ariel over here. Ariel enters the stage. Ariel says, what would my potent master? Potent means powerful. What does my powerful master want? Ariel is always ready to follow any command that has ever been given by Prospero. Here I am. So Prospero says, thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform. You and your meaner fellows means subordinates. Meaner here means subordinate spirits, your subordinates, meaner fellows are subordinates. He is talking about the other spirits which work with Ariel. Thou and thy meaner fellows, your last service did worthily performed. You performed your last service worthily. Now, last service here refers to that banquet scene when Ariel, disguised as Harpy, and he prophesies to Alonso and his company. And I must use you in such another trick. And I must use you, I want to use you in such another trick, in another trick of the same kind. Go, bring the rabble. Rabble means crowd, crowd of spirits. He's talking about the crowd of spirits. Go, bring the rabble over whom I give thee power. The rebel means other spirits over whom I give thee power, over whom I have given you power, here to this place. Bring all the spirits to this place, incite them to quick motion. Incite means arouse them to quick motion, means ask them to work fast. They must come quickly, for because I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple, because I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple. Young couple here refers to Ferdinand and Miranda. Bestow upon the eyes means present, because I want to present before Ferdinand and Miranda some vanity of my art. Some vanity. Vanity is the illusion of my art. Art here refers to art of magic, because I want to present to Ferdinand and Miranda some illusion of my magic. It is my promise, and they expect it from me. It is my promise. I have promised them to entertain them, and they want it from me. They expect it from me. Now, Ariel, has always been a spirit who always follows Prospero's commands without any question. But here, suddenly he asks, presently, at once, just now, you want me to do that? Prospero says, aye, yes, with a twink. Of course, twink means twinkle of an eye, blink of an eye. Ariel says, before you can say come and go and breathe twice and cry so, each one tripping on his toe will be here with mop and mow. Now, it's a kind of rhyme that Ariel presents. He says, before you can say come and go, before it takes time for you to say come and go and breathe twice and cry so, each one tripping on his toe. Each one here he refers to each one's spirit, who has been called by Prospero, tripping on his toe, dancing on his toe, will be here with mop and mow. Mop and mow means making different faces. Do you love me, master? No. Prospero says, dearly, my delicate Ariel, do not approach. So after some time, Prospero calls Ariel. Well, now come, my Ariel, bring a corollary. Corollary is other members of the group. Okay. Rather than want a spirit, rather than lack a spirit, bring other members of the group, all members of the group, than lacking a spirit. Appear and pertly. Pertly means nimbly. Come nimbly over here. No tongue, no voice, no sound, all eyes, only seen, be silent. Everybody has to be silent. And then soft music is played. Enter Iris. So he asks everyone to be silent, because now the mask is going to be presented. So the first spirit that enters the stage, this spirit enters as Iris. Iris is the goddess of rainbow. Iris is the goddess of rainbow, and at the same time, she is also she is believed to be the messenger of Juno. Juno, who is the queen of all gods and goddesses, right? Juno is the queen. Jove, King Jupiter is the king of all gods and goddesses, and Juno is the queen. And Iris is is believed to be the messenger of Juno, right? So the first spirit that enters on the stage while the mask is being performed is Iris, who is the goddess of rainbow. Iris is the goddess of rainbow. And as soon as Iris comes, she addresses Ceres. She addresses Ceres. Now, Ceres is the goddess of agriculture, goddess of agriculture and all fruits of the earth. And she says, Ceres, most bounteous lady, bounteous means generous lady, most generous lady, thy rich lees, your rich lees of wheat, lees here means meadows, right? Your rich lees of wheat, rye, barley, These are all grains, wedges, oats, and peas. Peas again means this piece here. Oats, wedges, it's a kind of plant of bean family, which is used as fodder, right? So wedges you may know as beans. So your lands, your places, your meadows of all these grains, thy turfy mountains. Turfy means grassy mountains because agriculture takes place there also. Thy turfy mountains where live nibbling sheep, where nibbling sheep live, and flat meads, and again flat meadows, flat lands, flat meadows, thatched with stover. Thatched means covered with stover. Stover is the fodder for cattle, all right, fodder for cattle, there to keep, them to keep. Now your flat meadows which are covered with stover, because the fodder for cattle is to be kept over there. Thy banks with pierced and twilled brims. Thy banks here refers to river banks because agriculture takes place there also. Thy river banks, pierced means overgrown, and twilled brims. Twilled means covered with reeds. Covered with reeds. Brims are the edges, borders. All right, because on the river banks, you must have seen on the borders, there are many reeds, there are many bushes there which are overgrown there, which spongy April at thy hest betrims, which spongy April. Spongy, why? Because it is rain soaked. Rain soaked April at thy hest, at your command. Hest means command. Betrims means decorates, which decorates the spongy April at your commands to make cold Niam's chaste crown. To make cold Niam's, these are water spirits, chaste crowns, so that these nymphs may come over there to follow crowns, and thy broom grooves, and your broom grooves means groove of broom. A yellow flowered shrub is a broom, yellow flowered shrub. So the grooves of broom, whose shadow the dismissed bachelor loves, whose shadow the dismissed bachelor loves. Dismissed bachelor means rejected lover. Rejected lover. The dismissed bachelors means rejected lovers are often seen sitting under the shadow of these broom groves, being less lone here means forsaken by the girl. Less means girl, being forsaken by the girl means their beloved. Thy pole-clipped vineyard, thy pole-clipped means twinned round clips, vineyard, and thy sea marge, and your sea marge here means margin, sea coast, right? So sea marge actually means sea coast because agriculture takes place there also. And thy sea marge, sterile and rocky hard, which are very hard as rock and sterile, where thou thyself does air, where you yourself go to take the air. Does air means where you yourself go to take the air. Now, this whole description has been given about Ceres. These are the places where Ceres live. Sometimes she's on the meadows, sometimes she's on the riverbank, sometimes she's on the mountains, sometimes she's on the seashores, right? The queen of the sky, here means Juno. The queen of the sky means Juno, whose watery arch, why watery arch? Because it is a rainbow, whose watery arch and messenger I am, bids thee leave these, bids thee, calls you to leave these. These means these places. Which places? That are mentioned above. All the places that are mentioned above. And with her sovereign grace here on this glass plot. And she has asked you to come here with her sovereign grace, with her authoritative grace. She has asked you to come here on this grass plot, in this very place, to come and spot. Spot means celebrate. To come and celebrate. All right. So Ceres has been called by Juno to that particular place to come and celebrate. Her peacocks fly amain. Her peacocks, actually in mythology, peacocks draw the chariot of goddess Juno. So her peacocks fly amain. Amain means with full power. They are flying with full power. Approach, arrive, rich Ceres, here to entertain. Please come here to entertain. So this is the message that Iris gives to Ceres. Now another spirit enters the stage in form of Ceres and says, Hail, many-colored messenger. Why many-colored? Who is many-colored messenger? Iris, because he is the god, or god. She is the goddess of rainbow. Rainbow is multicolored, many-colored, multicolored messenger that never does disobey the wife of Jupiter. Wife of Jupiter means Juno, who never disobeys Juno, who with saffron wings. Saffron is orange red color. With saffron wings upon my flowers diffuses honey drops here means honey dew. Because it is the goddess of rainbow, so she says that you diffuse honey dew on my flowers, refreshing showers of rain. And with each end of thy blue bow does crown, and with each end of your blue bows, rainbow is like this. So with each end, with each corner of your blue bow, this bow that you make does crown my bosky acres. Bosky here means covered with bushes, or bushy acres of land. You are the one who diffuses honeydews on my flowers, who gives refreshing showers, and with each corner of your bow, you crown down, and my unshrubed place, rich scarf to my proud earth. In a way, you are a rich scarf to my proud earth. Why hath thy queen, means Juno, summoned me hither? Summoned means called me hither, means here. Why has your queen called me here to this short grassed green? So, when Ceres is called by Iris, she enters this stage and then she asks Iris, why has she been called there? Iris says, a contract of true love to celebrate. To celebrate a contract of true love, right? Whose true love is this? Ferdinand and Miranda. And some donation freely to a state on the blessed lovers. So she has been called for two purposes. Number one, to celebrate the true love of Ferdinand and Miranda, and also some donation. Donation here means gift. Some gift freely to a state. To a state means to bestow, to give on the blessed lover, to bestow some gift on the blessed lovers. Ceres says, Tell me, heavenly bow, rainbow, again referring to Iris. Tell me, heavenly bow, if Venus or her son, as thou dost know, do now attend the queen. Now, before being there for some time, Ceres wants to confirm whether other goddess, that is Venus, and her son, who is Cupid, right? Venus and Cupid, whether Venus and her son, Venus is the goddess of love and beauty. Cupid is her son, who is also supposed to be the god of love. And Venus and Cupid are always busy making people fall in love. So she wants to confirm whether Venus and her son, means Cupid, are there with the queen or not. Are they also attending the queen? Are they also in the company of the queen? Since they plot the means that dusky diss my daughter got, her and her blind boy's scandaled company I have forsworn. And she wants to confirm whether they are there or not, because they did plot the means ways. Dusky is dark complexioned, right? And this is Pluto, that is god of death. Pluto, with the help of Venus and Cupid, abducted who is Ceres's daughter from the earth to his own kingdom. All right. That is why she says they plotted the ways with which Pluto got my daughter, her and her blind boy's scandaled company. That is why the company of her means Venus and her blind boy, because Cupid is supposed to be blind. Scandaled company, I have forsworn. I have forsworn means I have sworn to give up the company of Venus and her boy. So she wants to make sure that Venus and Cupid must not be there at that time. Iris says, of her society, be not afraid. Of her society, of her company, don't be afraid. I met her deity cutting the cloud towards Paphos and her son dove drone with her. I met her deity. I myself saw this goddess cutting the cloud towards Paphos. She was cutting the cloud, means journeying, traveling towards Paphos, and her son, that is Cupid, dove drawn with her, and her son, because the carriage in which Venus travels is drawn by doves. So she says, Iris tells here that Venus was traveling towards Paphos in her dove drawn carriage with her son. Here thought they to have done some wanton charm upon this man and maid. This man here refers to Ferdinand, maid means Miranda. Here thought they, even here they thought to have done some wanton charm, some magic spell. Wanton charm is magic spell to lure Ferdinand and Miranda. Uh, whose vows are, whose oath, whose promise is that no bed right shall be paid, no physical relationship will be established till Hymen's torch be lighted. Hymen is the god of marriage. All right, god of marriage. Till Hymen's torch be lighted means till they get married. So Venus and Cupid tried some kind of magic spell on Ferdinand and Miranda also, but Miranda and Ferdinand are very determined not to have any kind of not to have any kind of physical intimacy before their marriage, but vain, and that is why it was useless. It was not of any use. Mars's hot minion is returned again, and that is why Mars, which is the god of war, Mars is the god of war, and here Mars's hot minion means Venus only, is returned again. That is why she has returned again. Her waspish headed son has broke his arrows. Waspish headed, irritated headed son, means Cupid, has broke his arrows, because Cupid is always supposed to carry a bow and arrow. Swears he will shoot no more, but play with sparrows and be a boy right out. So Ceres says, now highest queen of state, great Juno, comes. I know her by her gate. Gate is the walk. Enter Juno. Juno enters over there. Now Juno says, how does my bounteous sister? How is my generous sister? Go with me. Go here means come with me to bless this twain. Twain is couple. Come with me to bless this couple, that they may prosperous be and honored in their issue. So that they are prosperous and honored in their issue. Issue means offspring, upcoming children. They sing, and then they start singing and at the same time blessing Ferdinand and Miranda. Now Juno says, now look at what Juno blesses Ferdinand and Miranda with. Honor, riches means wealth, marriage, blessing, long continuance. Long continuance means long life and increasing, and that too increasing. Early joys be still upon you. Still means always. Early joys be always upon you. May you are joyful every hour. Juno sings her blessings upon you. Now, Ceres also blesses the couple in a very beautiful way. Earths increase, earths produce, poison plenty, plenty of poison. Barns and garners never empty. Garners, barns are storehouses of grains. Garners also means granary. Never empty. They should never be empty. Vines and clustering bunches growing. Plants with goodly burden bowing. Burden means burden bowing. So, what is the goodly burden for plants? You know, the fruits that they produce. Spring come to you at the farthest, at the farthest, at the latest. It must come to you latest in the very end of the harvest. Scarcity and want shall shun you. Scarcity and want. Want means lack of anything. It shall shun you. Ceres's blessing. Shun you means hate you. You should never see scarcity and lack of anything. Ceres's blessing so is on you. So Ceres, being the goddess of agriculture, blesses the couple with abundance, plenty, granaries, wines, fruits, everything. Ferdinand, now Ferdinand is very surprised and he is amazed to see this beautiful spectacle. Ferdinand says, this is a most majestic vision and harmoniously charmingly. Harmoniously charmingly. This is a most harmoniously means consistently. Consistently charmingly. Charmingly is magical. May I be bold to think these spirits? May I be bold enough to think that these are spirits? Now, when the mask is going on, Ferdinand starts speaking in between. Prospero says, spirits, of course, they are spirits, which by mine art I have from their confines called to enact my present fancies, which by mine art, art of magic, I have from their confines called. I have called them from their confines. Confines means prisons, to enact, to perform my present fancies, to perform my present fancies, my fanciful thoughts. Ferdinand is very happy. He says, let me live here ever. Let me live here forever. So rare a wondered father and a wife makes this place paradise. Because this place becomes a paradise in the company of such a wonderful father and such a good wife. Now Juno and Ceres whisper and send Iris on employment, and then they send Iris on some employment, on some task. Prospero says, "Sweet, now silence, be quiet." Juno and Ceres whisper seriously. They are whispering seriously. There's something else to do. Something else is there which has to be done. Hush, be quiet and be mute, be dumb, or else, or otherwise, our spell is marred. Our spell is magic. Magic spell is marred. Marred means spoiled. Otherwise, our spell will be spoiled. So Iris is calling the nymphs now, which are known as naiads also. Naiads means spirits of streams. Of the winding brooks, brooks again means the streams of water, with your seshed crowns. Seshed means seshed crowns, crowns made from sedges. Sedges are woven from reeds. With your seshed crowns and ever harmless looks, leave your crisp channels. Channels again means streams of water. Leave your crisp channels and on this green land, answer your summons, answer your call. Juno does command. So Juno commands you to come here on this green land. Come, temperate nymphs, and help to celebrate. a contract of true love be not too late. So the way Iris called Ceres on the command of Juno to celebrate this contract of true love, now she is calling other spirits who will be coming over there as nymphs, and she has asked them to dress properly, wearing their sash crowns, and their looks also must be harmless. So she has asked all of them to come to that place. So enter certain nymphs, and certain nymphs enter over there. Then she is calling the reapers. The sickle men means reapers also. You sunburnt sickle men. Why are they sunburnt? Because they work in the sun. You sunburnt sickle men of August weary, who is tired due to August heat. All right, due to the heat of August, weary means tired. Come hither, come here from the furrow. Come here from the furrow. Furrow is the plowed fields. Come here from the plowed fields and be merry, be happy, make holiday, enjoy, celebrate, make holiday. Your rye straw hats put on your rye straw hats made of straw from the rye plant. And these fresh nymphs encounter everyone means stand opposite to everyone in country footing, in country dance step. Okay, footing is dancing. In country footing, in country dance, join each other by standing opposite to each other. Now enter certain reapers, properly habited. Habited means dressed. Properly dressed, they join with the nymphs in a graceful dance, towards the end whereof means of which, towards the end of which Prospero starts suddenly and speaks. After which, to a strange, hollow, and confused noise, they heavily vanish. Now, please try to understand the scene. They all are dancing, and when they are towards the end, when they are about to end their dance, suddenly Prospero is reminded of something, and suddenly Prospero, speaks. And as soon as he starts speaking, all these spirits, these nymphs and reapers, they were actually the spirits. All these spirits, they suddenly vanish to a strange, hollow, and confused noise. Now, Prospero, aside, I had forgot that foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. So, actually, Prospero is suddenly reminded of the conspiracy that has been plotted by Caliban against his life, against Prospero's life. All right, now the time is there when Caliban would be coming with his companions, that is Stefano and Trinculo, to kill Prospero. And at that time, the mask is going on. All right, so Prospero has to set them right also. That's why he says. And his confederates actually means companions, right? So he says that I forgot about that conspiracy. The minute of their plot, the time of their plot is almost come. Now, the time when they are supposed to execute their plan is has come. Then he says to the spirit, well done, avoid. You just rush from here, avoid. No more, no more of it is required. Now Ferdinand is very, feeling very awkward that suddenly Prospero's mood is changed. Earlier he was so happy. He only, wanted that mass to be presented, and now he only is ending it in such an abrupt way. So Ferdinand says, "This is strange. Your father is in some passion that works him strongly. This is very strange. Your father is in some passion. Passion means he is having some kind of he has got angry for some reason that works him strongly, which has is affecting him very strongly." Miranda says, "Never till this day saw I him touched with anger, so distempered. I have never seen, till this date, I have never seen my father being so angry, which is unrestrained. Distempered means unrestrained, which can't be controlled." Now, Prospero, when he saw that Ferdinand and Miranda are amazed, somehow they are very confused also. So, Prospero explains them. "You do look, my son, in a moved sort." Moved sort means you look upset. My son, he's referring to Ferdinand. Ferdinand, you look upset, as if you were dismayed, as if you were sad over the fact that the mask has been stopped in this way. Be cheerful, sir. Be happy, sir. Our revels now are ended. Our revels, this celebration which was taking place, that has ended now. These are actors, as I foretold you, as I told you before, were all spirits. These actors who were performing, they were all spirits and are melted into air. And they all have melted into air. They all have vanished into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, like the baseless fabric of this vision, baseless fabric means invisible fabric of this vision. Vision is the spectacle, scene, this invisible fabric of dreamlike spectacle. Similarly, the cloud capped towers, these towers which are as high as the cloud touching towers, the gorgeous palaces, beautiful palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, the whole earth. All right. So here he is referring to the earth. And at the same time, if we talk from Shakespeare's perspective, globe was the name of his theater also. Okay. The great globe itself, yeah, all which it inherit, all it possesses, all which it possess shall dissolve. It will also dissolve, it will also leave, it will also vanish. And like this insubstantial pageant is the show. Insubstantial means unreal. Like this unreal show faded, the way this unreal show has faded, leave not a rack behind. So leave not a rack behind. Rack means trace behind. In the same way, the way this unreal show has faded, in the same way, the whole earth and what all it consists of, whether these are cloud touching towers, whether they are palaces, whether there are temples, anything that is there on the earth, all this is going to be vanished, leaving not a trace behind. We are such stuff. Such stuff. What kind of stuff? We are mortal. All right. We are such stuff. We are mortal. We all have to die one day, as dreams are made on. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. And our little life is rounded with a sleep. This life is a kind of temporary thing. Okay, otherwise, the infinite, the eternal is a sleep that nobody knows about. So, I am vexed. Vexed means troubled, annoyed. All right, I am vexed, I am troubled, annoyed. Bear with my weakness. Please bear with my weakness. My brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. Please don't be disturbed with this weakness of mine or shortcoming of mine, with this infirmity. If you be pleased, retire into my cell and there repose. Repose means rest. A turn on to, I'll walk to still my beating mind. To still means to calm my beating mind. Okay, so Ferdinand and Miranda wish him, we wish you a peace, and then they exit from there. Now, Ariel enters over there. Ariel says, thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure? So Prospero says, Spirit, we must prepare to meet with Caliban. We must prepare ourselves. Ariel says, I, yes, my commander. When I presented Ceres, I thought to have told thee of it. When I presented Ceres, at that time I thought to told you of it, but I feared, but I was afraid, lest otherwise it might anger thee. Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets? Where have you left these varlets? Varlets are rogues. Just tell me once again what you did with them. Okay, where have you left them? Ariel says, I told you, sir, they were red hot with drinking. I told you, now Ariel is telling him what he did with Caliban, Trinculo, and Stefano. So they were red hot, means they were flushed with drinking. So they had lost their senses. So full of, it's not fun actually, it is full. So full of valor is courage, that they smote the air. Smote means strike, that they strike the air, breathing in their facing. They are beating the air for breathing in their faces. Beat the ground for kissing their feet. They are beating the ground for touching. Kissing here means touching their feet. Why is the ground touching their feet? So what does it show? That they have lost all senses, yet always bending towards their project. But yes, they are very much inclined towards their project. Project is the plan. And what is the plan? To kill Prospero. Then I beat my tabor, at which, like unbacked coats, unbacked means unrestrained, unmounted. Coats are young horses. They pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted up their noses as they smelt music. So, the way a young horse behaves as soon as he hears some sound, so suddenly his ears are raised and his eyelids are uplifted, and he tries to smell and then follow in that direction. So similarly, they were also behaving in that way. So I charmed their ears, that calf like they my lowing followed through. So I charmed their ears with my magic in a way that calf like a calf, they my lowing followed. They were following my lowing, they were following my music through tooth briars. Tooth means sharp, briars are bushes, through sharp bushes, sharp furzes. Furzes are thorny plants, pricking gauze and thorns. Gauze again means this gauze, GORSE. Gauze is prickly shrubs and thorns which entered their frail shins. Frail means weak. Shin is the lower part of the leg, right? Lower part of their legs. At last, I left them in the filthy mantled pool. Filthy mantled means covered with scum. Pool beyond your cell. Beyond your cell, there is a pool which is covered with scum. I left them there. They're dancing up to the chins, and they were in the dirt covered pool with the dirty water up to their chins, that the foul lake overstung their feet. So Prospero says, "This was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still." You always retain your invisible shape. You must not be seen by anybody. The trumpery in my house. The trumpery is actually garments. All right. And what kind of garments are there with Prospero? Which he used to wear as the Duke. The trumpery in my house, go bring it hither. Go bring it here, for stale to catch these thieves, because we are going to use them as decoy to catch these thieves. So Ariel says, I go, and he exits. Now Prospero is talking about Caliban. He says, a devil, a born devil, whose nature nurture can never stick. On whose nature nurture means breeding, upbringing, cannot stick, because he is a born devil. Okay, he has devilish nature. So whatever kind of upbringing, whatever kind of breeding, grooming you give him, it is not going to make any effect. On whom my pains here means efforts, on whom my efforts humanly taken, the efforts which I took humanly as a human, all lost, quite lost. And as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. Cankers means becomes poisonous. The way his body is growing ugly with his age, similarly, his mind is also getting poisonous day by day. I will plague them all, even to roaring. I will plague them all, even to roaring. I will punish them to such an extent that they all are going to roar. Re-enter Ariel, laden with glistering apparel. Glistering means shining, glittering apparel, dresses. Come, hang them on this line. Come and hang them on this line. There is a line, and then he hangs all the garments. Prospero and Ariel remain invisible. Enter Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo, all wet. Why are they all wet? Because they were there in that dirty pool. Caliban, pray you, tread softly, walk very softly, that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. Blind mole, he is referring to Prospero, so that Prospero may not hear our footfall. We now are near his cell. We have reached near his cell. Stefano says, Monster, your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has done little better than played the jack with us. Now, Stefano is referring, actually, earlier, Caliban was describing the island, that this island is full of noises and different fairies, and they never harm us, they are harmless. So Stefano is saying in that reference only that the fairy which you say is a harmless fairy has played the jack with us, means it has befooled us. Okay, Trinculo says, Monster, I do smell all hospice, at which my nose is in great indignation. Stefano says, So is mine, even I am smelling like this. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look you just try to remember, Stefano is being angry on Caliban. But then Trinculo says, Thou were but a lost monster. Caliban says, Good my lord, give me thy favor still, always give me your favor. Be patient, for the prize I'll bring thee to, for the reward that I have brought you to, shall hoodwink this mischance, because the prize that you are going to get is going will hoodwink, will deceive this mischance, this misfortune that we have recently met. Therefore speak softly. All is hushed as midnight, yet all is silent as midnight right now. Trinculo says, Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool? But what about losing our bottles of wine in the pool? Stefano, there is not only disgrace and dishonor in that, monster, but an infinite loss. Trinculo says, That's more to me than my wetting, and that matters more to me than my getting wet. Yet, this is your harmless fairy, monster, and I know this has been done by your harmless fairy. He's being sarcastic here. Stefano says, I will fetch off my bottle, though I be over years for my labor. I'll fetch off my bottle. I'll go again there over to fetch my bottle, even if I have to be there in the pool till my ears. Caliban says, Prithee, my king, I pray you, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? You see here. This is the mouth of the cell. This is the entrance of the cell. Mouth here means entrance of the cell. No noise. Please don't make any noise and enter. Do that good mischief which may make this island thine forever. Do that good mischief, good wrong, which may make this island thine forever. And I, thy Caliban, for I, thy footlicker, and I, Caliban, will become your servant. So please do that wrong for which you have come over here. Stefano, give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts. Trinculo, O King Stefano, O pure, O worthy Stefano, look, what a wardrobe here is for thee. Now suddenly Trinculo's attention is diverted to the garments which were hanging over there. And he calls Stefano, see, what a wardrobe here is for you. Now Caliban, let it alone, thou fool. You just leave it. It is but trash. It is nothing. It is useless. Trinculo says, Oh, ho, monster, we know what belongs to a frippery. Frippery is an old garment shop. All right, old garment shop. So actually, Trinculo is thinking that it is some kind of garment shop. Stefano says, Put off that gown, Trinculo. By this hand, I'll have that gown. Take that gown. I'll have that gown. I'll wear it. Trinculo, thy grace shall have it. So Trinculo take that gown and gives him. What do you mean to dot does on such luggage? What do you mean to dot? Dot means to be fond of on such luggage, on such weight, needless weight. Let's alone, leave it alone and do the murder first. If he awake, from toe to crown, he'll fill our skin with pinches, make us strange stuff. So, Caliban is afraid of Prospero also. He says, if he is awakened, from top to crown, from top to bottom, he will fill us with pinches and he'll make us strange creatures. Stefano says, Be you quiet, monster. Mistress Line, is not this my jerkin? Now, Mistress Line to the line he is saying, Miss Line, is not this my jerkin? Now is the jerkin under the line. Now, jerkin, are you like to lose your hair and prove a ball jerkin? So he starts talking to a jerkin which was hanging over there. Trinculo says, Do. We steal by line and level. We steal by line and level. Line and level means systematically. Ain't like your grace. Stefano says, I thank thee for that jest. For this joke, I thank you. Here is a garment for it. Take a garment for this. Which shall not go unrewarded while I am king of this country. So he is behaving like a king. So just because you have given such a good line, take a garment for this. Steel by line and level is an excellent pass of pate. There is another garment for this. A pass of pate means witty remark. It is a very witty remark. Now take another garment for this. Trinculo, monster, come, put some lime upon your fingers and away with the rest. Caliban says, I will have none of it. Uh, we shall lose our time and all be turned to barnacles or to apes with foreheads villainous low. Barnacle is a kind of shellfish. So he says, I'll have none of it. I'm not going to take any of them. We are losing time. And we all will be turned into barnacles or apes and with our foreheads disproportionate. Villainous means disproportionate low. So he is actually afraid of Prospero. Stefano says, Monster, lay to your fingers, take them, help to bear this away where my hogshead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to carry this. So Trinculo says, and this also. Stefano, I and this, take this also. Now they have loaded Caliban with that stuff, all the garments which were hanging there. Even Stefano is carrying some, Trinculo is also carrying some. At that moment only, a noise of hunters heard. Enter diverse spirit. Diverse means different. Different spirits in shape of dogs and hounds and hunt them about. Prospero and Ariel setting them on. Hey, mountain, mountain, these are spirits. Silver, silver, there it goes, silver. Fury, fury, tyrant there, hark, hark. Now you see mountain, silver, fury. These are the names of those dogs and hounds which have come over there. These are actually spirits in the form of dogs and hounds. They have come over there and they are chasing these people. Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo, they all are driven out. Go, charge my goblins that they grind their joints. Goblins again means mischievous spirits, which Prospero often used to punish Caliban. Charge my goblins that they grind their joints with dry convulsions, which do not cause any blood to follow, which do not cause any blood to flow. Shorten up their sinews means muscles with aged cramps, and more pin spotted make them than pard. Pard means leopard or cat of mountain. So these are the punishments which Prospero commands Ariel to give to these people. Ariel says, hark, they roar, listen, they are roaring. Okay, so this is what they do with Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo. Prospero says, let them be hunted soundly. Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour, lie at my mercy, all mine enemies. At this time, all my enemies, those courtiers also, and now these commoners also, they all lie at Prospero's mercy. Shortly shall all my labors end, all my labors will end shortly, and thou shalt have the air at freedom. For a little follow and do me, and in this way they exit the stage. So scene 4 is also done. I hope you people have understood everything. And for any queries or any questions, you may always put them on comment box. I will definitely answer them. Thank you so much. Bye bye.